It's a public health hazard, a safety risk, an environmental threat that undermines the dignity and the health of our residents every day in our neighborhoods in Philadelphia. Thanks to this innovative partnership with Richard S. Burns Company, the residents will finally receive help and support. We're providing vouchers. It's an incredibly innovative, it's like a simple idea, but so innovative to just connect the dots between wanting to clean up and making sure that it meets the economic needs of our businesses and our neighbors. So we are providing vouchers that these illegal dumpers can take here to the Richard S. Burns Company and get free legal waste disposal. This empowers our community to dispose of trash responsibly and sustainably. Our approach is comprehensive, like everything we do at North 10, Philadelphia. We will have bilingual signage, public trash receptacles, school-based education programs, bulk trash events, and daily cleaning efforts. We're tackling this issue through prevention, education, accountability, and partnerships. And while today launches this initiative, it is not the beginning of North 10's effort to tackle illegal dumping and trash and litter in our neighborhood. The idea for this program came from support that we got from the William Penn Foundation a few years ago to start what we call our Neighborhood Promise program. That program, over these last few years, has revitalized vacant lots and public spaces in our neighborhood, cleaning over 1 million square feet of public space and vacant properties. That impact has been immense, and we are so excited to build on it. And so with that, I want to shout out our NPP crew over here who's been doing it. And I also have to take the opportunity, while our partnerships to make this possible are unbelievable, internal at North 10, you've met Nikki, the North 10 team all walking around with their Talking Trash t-shirts, make this happen every day. So whether or not they have a camera or whether or not they have a jacket on, this is an incredible team making incredible things happen. And we invite everybody here, our residents, our partners, our government officials, everybody here in Philadelphia to join us. Get involved. Visit north10phl.org, follow us at north10phl, and join us in creating a cleaner, greener, safer, and more vibrant neighborhood and city. Together we can and will make a difference. Thank you. And talking about our Neighborhood Promise program, it is my privilege and honor to introduce Mr. Walter Al Gilliard, the manager of the NPP program. Al? There you go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Al, and I'm the manager of NPP, this Neighborhood Promise program. I'm born and raised in this Hunting Park, East Tioga area, and I'm tired of seeing it being treated like a dumping ground. Illegal dumping is not just an eyesore, it's a public health risk in our environment. And it shows a lack of respect for everyone that lives in this community, which I currently reside in. We deserve better than to have our streets, parks, and neighborhoods filled with garbage. It's time for action, stronger enforcement, and more public awareness and community involvement. This is a place where hard work and care for our families. We need solutions and not more trash. Thank you very much, and thank you, Burns. Appreciate it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Avarice Crawford, Chief of Staff for North 10, and this idea came from Al and the crew, right? I ask them every day, what do you see happening, and how can we find resources to make some difference? And they came to me during a time when we had a boat that was left in our backyard. The third boat that has been left in our backyard since I've started at North 10 a year and a half ago. And so from this program, from hearing on the ground, our community members, we're able to do something about it. And I'm excited to bring our community partnership with organizations in our community who also want to do great things. So here to introduce now Alan Burns of the Richard S. Burns Company.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Richard S. Burns & Company. To give you a little background, Richard S. Burns & Company is the oldest mixed waste construction material recycling facility in the country. I was born and raised in this neighborhood, no more than 6 blocks away when my father started this facility in 1979. And this partnership with North Penn to clean up these illegal dump sites in the city of Philadelphia is so exciting to us. We've been a part of the fabric of this community for over 50 years. And to see the material that is dumped off on the street get recycled rather than going directly to a landfill is just incredible to me. And I'm extremely honored and proud to be part of this program. Thank you very much.
Introduce. So next we're going to call up one of our amazing leaders in the city of Philadelphia. We're calling up Mr. Carlton Williams, who's the director of the city's Clean Green Initiative.
That's right. Thank you so much. Good morning. I, for one, am so excited to be here today. First of all, let me talk about what Al had mentioned earlier, illegal dumping. Illegal dumping is a major issue in our city. It is, not only does it affect the quality of life, but it does have a strong relationship to, first of all, economic investment. When businesses want to come here and start businesses throughout the community, illegal dumping certainly detracts from our ability to open up businesses here. It also impacts crime. Places where people illegally dump, especially on vacant lots, there are studies that show that there's a 30% increase in violent crimes in areas where there are not clean vacant lots and open spaces. So we're focusing those items as well. What we saw during the work stoppage this year, during the strike, we saw illegal dumping get exasperated all throughout our neighborhoods in the city of Philadelphia, and ultimately we were left with the burden of having to clean up those locations. Each year we spend over $2 million cleaning up illegally dumped sites throughout the city of Philadelphia, only to have them come back and be dumped on again. Now, what is the city doing? The city has invested in cameras, and we talked about enforcement, stronger enforcement. We're getting ready to roll out an illegal dumping task force for those who blatantly and willingly dump in our communities and neighborhoods. But we also are happy to be here today, and this is why I'm so happy about North Penn's initiative. It gives people an alternative to provide a voucher to allow someone who may be struggling to pay dump fees to come to a location like Burns is extremely important, because that's an incentive for them not to throw trash and dumping in our parks and our recreation centers. That is so important for us to be able to partner and give people an opportunity rather than force them to make a decision whether to dump in a location or not. So there's really no excuse when it comes down to when someone has an opportunity like this. I also want to thank Richard S. Burns Corporation, the entire group. Not only do they do tremendous work, and they're a great business partner in the city of Philadelphia for this initiative. They work with the prison population for an organics initiative that we have up in the northeast of the city of Philadelphia. They've also offered tremendous opportunities for jobs and economic development right here in North Philadelphia. So we want to thank them for their continued partnership. They have been great partners here in the city of Philadelphia. So Josh and Nikki and Al and the entire North 10 team, this is something that is extremely important to Mayor Sherelle Parker. It fits directly in her vision for making Philadelphia the safest, cleanest, greenest big city in the nation with access to economic opportunity for all. Giving people a chance to do the right thing is important. And being able to give vouchers for people who may be trying to find other alternatives is extremely important, and it does go a long way to help us reduce the amount of trash and debris in our streets, and it also enhances our ability to give small businesses the opportunity to grow and expand and do the right thing. So I want to thank North 10 for this exciting new initiative. We've been asked on a number of occasions, well, why not just let them use the transfer stations? Well, we say, well, it's not big enough. We need a facility that's large enough to be able to take that. Also, we're just serving as the middleman because we'll be taking it to a place like Burns, because this is one of the very few places that accepts C&D material and illegally dumped items. So this initiative cuts out and goes directly to the point of giving people a chance to be able to dump legally in a location that's affordable. Those are things that are critical, that allows people to have an opportunity to be able to keep our city clean. And we thank you so much, North 10, and the hard work that you do. It really does take a partnership between multiple agents, private investment like Burns, a community-based organization like North 10, and a government agency like City of Philadelphia working together to get things done. I'm certainly looking forward for the opportunity to use this as a model for other programs around the city. I also want to thank the William Penn Foundation. Their grants are continuously helping improve the quality of life in local neighborhoods, and we look forward to those continued partnerships. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carlton, for everything that you and the city do. It's a wonderful initiative. Thank you. To bring context to exactly what this voucher program is all about, we thought it would be important. We're not going to take up a lot of time. Rosemary Durante, who's Director of Neighborhood Impact Services for North 10, will explain to everyone exactly how the voucher program works to connect the dots here. Okay? Rosemary?
Hello, everyone. So part of the our whole initiative and our whole campaign is kind of our innovative way through our voucher system. And in doing so, we are going to be providing vouchers for our community members to come and dump legally at Burns Company. And through that, we are going to be making sure that all of our 5 hotspots, which we are targeting, have provided 5 ambassadors. We are going to be choosing 5 community members to be ambassadors and representatives of those 5 hotspots that you see on our map. And they will be our eyes and ears on the ground for those particular hotspots and provide specific codes to our community and those short dumpers that are looking to get a discount over at Burns Company. We are going to be able to provide a discount of $120 off, which equals 2,000 pounds of dumping over at Burns Company. And that will, thank you. That should hopefully alleviate some burden to some of these dumpers. And we will be providing up to 10 vouchers a week. Within that, it will also give an incentive to our ambassadors to provide more and more vouchers to our community and create a fun, spirited way of our community also going in on our help. North 10 can't do it alone. Burns can't do it alone, but our community are the eyes and ears. And hopefully this is only a piece to the puzzle of what we can do. And hopefully other organizations and everyone in our city can take a little bit about what we're doing and take that and move it forward to hopefully tackle illegal dumping in the future.
Thank you, Rosemary. At this point, we can open it up for any questions that anyone has. And at the conclusion of this press conference, we will be giving a tour, which Alan Burns will lead, of the Burns facility. So for anyone that would like to be part of that, or any camera people, we're happy to accommodate. Does anyone have any questions about the program or about anything?
So it sounds like it'll be a fantastic incentive for people to get a discount. However, one thing I'm wondering is for residents who are like, not only just dumping out of a financial burden, but dumping out of convenience, what's going to make them go, oh, well, thank you for the stuff. Let me take these tires in my car and get to the facility, rather than just be like, I don't want a voucher. I feel like I don't know how to profile what's the psychology of people who illegally dump. Maybe you guys have more information on that. But are they the type of person or people to use a voucher and even care about that?
I'll do my best to answer what is obviously a really complicated question about human behavior, right? Like, we're changing behavior. And I think that we can all admit that litter and dumping has been kind of ingrained in almost the psychology of our city. And so our approach to that is twofold, both the incentive, but there is also a deterrent part of this in which we are adding lighting and adding cameras at these sites so that there's a little bit of like, we can see you, don't do that, and hey, we know you don't want to do this. No one likes to to dump and to feel as if they're part of a problem. Here's a solution, and why don't you grab it? So this kind of combination of incentives and deterrence together is kind of our belief of what will at least make a crack in that psychology of dumping on our city.
You're trying to clean up, obviously, the Hunting Park and these types of neighborhoods. We all know, when folks hear about this, there could be people from other neighborhoods who are like, man, I'm just going to go over there and jump at one of these sites and I can get the voucher so I get my stuff. Do you plan on that? Have you guys thought about now this is going to be other people from all over the city maybe bringing their stuff to those sites just so they can get the voucher?
So what we've come to realize is that a lot of the short dumping that is happening in the neighborhood isn't happening from those in the neighborhood, right? There are passer-throughs through the neighborhood who do that. And so our plan is to not only, focus on the dumping hotspots, but also focus on the actual trucks that we see, right, with the material. And so going and looking at the people who probably aren't in our neighborhood who are dumping is what we are envisioning this program, focusing on.
You mentioned something about 10 vouchers a week. Is that in general to everybody, or is that one person to get up to 10 vouchers? Like, just how does that work in terms of that? Is it just like each week we're only giving out 10 vouchers in general, and whoever's there, that's it? Or an individual get up to, they can dump multiple times in a week or something?
Correct. And I think that is something, that a strategy that we are thinking about, and it is going to be more general. Startup, we are going to generalize it so that everyone can have an opportunity. And we are going to have a specific code for each ambassador. And so it will be for one person per week. So that it does allow more people to also take advantage of these codes and vouchers at the same time.
And what does a handoff, I guess, of that voucher look like? You said you'll be identifying trucks, and if an ambassador's not on the scene, catching the camera, like, run their license plate, show up at the door and hand them a voucher?
No, we will be having signage in all of our hotspots with QR codes that takes them to our website that gives them information on how to obtain that voucher. Yep.
There's a question.
Oh, that was kind of my question. So, like, the community members who are the ambassadors, do they have to see the number and then approach them and be like, hey, here's the voucher, or how does that work?
It can be in any format. We do want to avoid any interaction between our ambassadors and our dumpers for safety reasons, but that's why those signages are going to be at those hotspots, but they are going to be ambassadors who have these cards and just can place them in cars, on cars that we do see that may potentially want to go dump. And also word of mouth. Our ambassadors are community members who have really well communication with block captains and other organizations that could spread the word to other people. So.
What are you accepting or not accepting?
In terms of material?
As far as material, are you accepting hazmats, are you accepting dishwashers, are you accepting the boat?
Yes, we are not permitted to take any hazardous material, but we can take municipal solid waste, household waste, construction material, brick, concrete, anything non-hazardous at this facility.
Yes. Nikki asked that I kind of reiterate the camera program that we roll out around the city each year. We roll out 100 additional cameras. Many of the locations that's identified in this program is already either has a camera or is will stage to have one put there so that we can support this operation. So we're looking forward to doing that as well.
There's stuff already at these locations?
Yes, and some of the locations, there are cameras at that location that we currently monitor, yes.
So, on that note, would it be accurate to say that, extra lighting and cameras have already been added, or should we say, extra lighting and cameras have been added at some location and there's more to come, or?
Yes, there will, certainly there are some at the locations that currently they're monitoring for the pilot, and there's more to come in these locations as well as other hot spots around the city of Philadelphia. That's correct. Other questions?
What's the fine for me coming to this location and dumping stuff and paying a fine?
In general, if they're dumping in general, well, we've increased the fine amounts to up to $5,000 per item per incident if they use a vehicle, and $2,000 per item per incident if they just dump on their own without a vehicle. So the fines are very stiff. I talked about more enforcement, and again, Al mentioned that earlier today. But we also want to offer an alternative. So instead of having them at risk, and we are very, very serious about it. You'll hear about it on the 23rd of October when we launch the Illegal Dumping Task Force, where we have a proactive unit of people that will go out and look for dumpers. But we also want to understand when some people are struggling, small businesses especially, are looking for an alternative. This is a great alternative for them to get involved with, to use the voucher system. It will help not only their business grow, but certainly create a partnership, a model for the city of Philadelphia. That's what we're looking forward to.
During the strike, I was at a dumping site that became very popular.
Which one? There was several.
This was up in Fort Richmond.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
It became popular with 10 minute companies from Bucks County to dump their drywall, carpeting.
Yeah. Stricter enforcement. So we're actually ramping up for those type of people who have the means, who should not be dumping, who should not be coming across our city's borders to come into the city of Philadelphia to go back to Bucks County or New Jersey or anywhere else that they came from, especially during that time period, and took advantage of a situation. We're going to make sure that there's a carrot and a stick. And so there's the carrot here, where we offer a voucher for those who really need the program, but those who should be paying for it and take this opportunity to try to take advantage of it ultimately will pay heavy fines and stricter penalties for that.
Are there any other questions regarding the actual program itself?
Yes. Sorry. This might be for Burns and Company. The average kind of dump, how much does that cost? I know obviously varies from person to person, but how far will this $120 get you?
So the average load that I have witnessed, that I see on the streets for illegal dumpers, is probably around 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. So this will cover, if not all of it, 90% of the cost for the average dumper.
My question is for North End. Do you have policies to kind of protect that, maybe like local entities won't exploit this program? Like, are you collecting data to make sure that you don't see the same exact people using the voucher system so that it's not abused?
So yes, we will be in communication with Burns every week, right? Reviewing definitely the pounds, right? We're focused on moving pounds off of the street into recycling, but we are aware of, right, advantages and exploitations that happen, and so we are in constant communication since we, thought of this grant to this day with Burns, and so we'll keep those lines open to talk about data, to talk about what we're seeing in real time, and be able to respond and adjust as necessary. Yes, and the codes that we will be providing will be changing, right? These aren't going to be stagnant codes that remain the same. They will be changing in order to talk about and deal with some of those issues.
Let me ask one more question about the security, the enhancements you guys have done, fines and lighting and security cameras. Just the last question. Have you found that to be successful so far? Are you arresting and catching people? Let's just talk about maybe it's a success or not successful.
Absolutely. Last year, in 2020, for example, in 2023, we caught less than 12 a dozen dumpers, and the fines were very minimal. Use of a code violation notice may be, and I think it was said earlier that this program covers 90% of the cost with a $120 fee. The fine was only $100 or $300. So the risk of them getting caught, if they did get caught, was very minimal. So we had to increase the fines. We worked with City Council, and certainly when Mayor Parker was a council member, she increased those fines to $5,000 per item per incident. So last year, those cases with our law department, we're actually suing them. We're using an NOV process. We had 40 cases, over $3 million in judgments, versus what we did in 2022. So it did make a huge difference, but I certainly don't want that to be the focus of today. I want the focus of the day to be in a more positive level of us working with a partnership agency. Burns, I mean, we were asked on a number of occasions to use our transfer stations. Our transfer stations aren't permitted for that type of material. It's used for residential trash for people who want to take 2 or 3 bags. The amount of material that we collect and dump in each day from small businesses or contractors or house cleanouts far outweigh our capacity to be there. So that's why this partnership is so important, because if you give someone an alternative, an opportunity, then maybe they will start to do the right things and be able to grow their businesses, and we can expand this program throughout the city. That's why we're so supportive of it from the city of Philadelphia's perspective. The mayor is extremely happy about the fact that partnerships, private, community-based organizations and government working together to solve a solution in a very positive way. Now, unfortunately, we have to have that enforcement in place for those who want to continuously violate those rules and regulations without programs like this, and they want to circumvent the program. I think the question came up, what if people don't use the program? Well, we're going to enforce. We're going to catch you, and then you're going to pay stricter fines. So get involved with North 10, get involved with Burns, take advantage of a great program and a great opportunity to do the right thing.
One more question about North 10. If this program is very successful, do you plan on adding more sites eventually, or is it to make this prototype and kind of push it along and guys for everybody?
You've been talking to my board. I want to say let's get this one right first. I think the North 10 way is to do something well, to work with really strong partnerships locally here in our neighborhood and make it so that other people can learn from it. So that I think that's where we are with this in our own thinking. We really are focused on our residents, on our neighbors, knowing that if we can get it right here, then the idea or the model or the how we get it done can be learned by others, and we are more than happy to talk to anyone in the city of Philadelphia to come with us to share their ideas so that we can learn from them and that they can learn from us.
To be determined.
I think
Any more questions?